give it a 10 out of 10. Hey guys, Larry here. So we spent a couple of days in Sydney with our first day at the launch of Hermes Fit. And if you haven't already, make sure to watch that video and I'll link it in the description below. The next day we want to explore the city and dine at some recommended restaurants. And I have to say, we did a lot of eating. We started our day off with breakfast at the hotel.
So we just got our buffet breakfast and our coffee to start off the day. And I think we'll go back for seconds.
For our accommodation, we stayed at the Ovolo at Woolloomooloo. The room we stayed in was great. It was generous with its space and it had large windows with a river and city views. Alright, so we just finished breakfast and now we're out to explore. So we're heading to the Botanical Gardens and there are some cliff divers this weekend, so we're going to check that out, as well as the classic opera house and bridge. As the hotel was located by the Royal Botanic Gardens, we walked around the gardens next to the shoreline and we got to see large ships, really cool rock formations, and once you get to the northern end, it's a popular spot to take photos with the iconic Sydney Opera House and Harbour Bridge right next to each other. And of course, we took some happy snaps. Further up the road, we could hear cheering from a crowd that led us to the Redbull cliff diving competition. Honestly, I'm amazed of how these divers do what they do. So it's a 21-meter high diver platform, and it was that high that it hurt my neck from just looking up. There's this one diver who started backwards with her toes just touching the platform, and there was a gust of wind that went by. You could see her slightly get unbalanced, with the crowd watching intensely and giving out a whoa. That honestly is super intense. After this, we made our way to the Sydney Opera House, and I visited countless of times and it never gets old. So I love the shape, the lines and the structure, and we literally just sat around, enjoyed the Opera House, the Sydney Harbour Bridge, and also just people watched. Our plan was to have lunch at one of the restaurants at the harbour, but we weren't as hungry, so we wanted a small snack, and we stumbled upon a bar through a laneway called Bar Mammoni. They do snacks and drinks and it was perfect for what we were after. So the location and the exterior kind of reminded me of when we were in the south of France having a spritz and enjoying the summertime. Adding to the atmosphere, they played the perfect music in the background with Italian and European inspired music. So after a big walk, we stumbled across this bar here. So we got a little bite to eat, then we got a couple of Aperol spritz and strawberry spritz. So we're enjoying the music. We got a few snacks off the menu and damn, the pastries were so good. So we just finished that Mammoni and I'll give it a 10 out of 10. Great spritz, great snacks, great vibes. Honestly, I would recommend and I'll definitely come back for more. After our snacks, we headed back to the Botanical Gardens to check out the Calyx, which is home to the largest green wall in the southern hemisphere. Look at the leafy walls on one side, all different colors, different types of plants, succulents. Like a bird sounds in the background. So it also has a cafe with a beautiful outdoor seating area. It's a really cool spot to have coffee and relax. So after we went back to the hotel, got changed and made our way to Surry Hills for our dinner booking. So we met up with some friends and Wes is a great photographer and Jesse is a lifestyle content creator. You guys should definitely check out their work. So what do we have?
So we've got a fava bean hummus with deep fried fava beans, burrata with candied fennel, and then fire roasted flatbread.
Nomad cooks all their food with fire and smoke and inspired by the travels through Spain, Morocco and the Middle East. The mains that we had was dry aged pork cutlets, the barbecue spatchcock, and we also had additional sides. And of course we had to get some dessert to finish off with the famous olive oil ice cream sandwich. And after we went for drinks down the road to a neighborhood bar named the Rover. And I have to say, they serve really good cocktails here. And the bartender went through all the cocktails with the selections and picked out the best cocktail that suited what we were after. And I went for the apple crumble to start off and had a couple of different ones, which I kind of can't remember now, but they were all delicious. That's what I remember. So the next day we had to check out a place called AP Bakery in Surry Hills, which is located in the Paramount house. So there is a cafe at the bottom, but we took the lift up and it opened up to a sunny rooftop oasis. They have minimalistic outdoor seating and a lovely greenery. They have all their baked goods stacked on the shelf, and wow, they have such a good selection of pastries. So we got our coffees, our frangipani tart, and a couple of croissants. They also have made to order breakfast, but we just stuck with the pastries. And if you're after good vibes, super tasty pastries, this is the place to go. As we were close to Chinatown, we thought we would head over to the cream puff hole in the wall. Sell cream puffs and it's super cheap, and that's the reason why there's always a lineup. They're okay, they're not as good as I remember a few years back, but they're quite tasty. After walking through Chinatown, we went to Hyde Park through the city, and then we headed to King's Cross, which is the red light district. It's where the iconic Coca-Cola sign is. And this area is a little bit seedy with interesting types of people hanging around. Then up the road, it completely changes into a posh neighborhood where we booked in for lunch at Cho Cho San. So walking in, they have a beautiful minimalistic interior and they serve up izakawa inspired dishes. So we had the pork katsu bun, the kingfish sashimi, and the king crab omelette Japanese curry, and the fried brown rice, while we chased it all down with the yuzu spritz. It was nice, Lisa really liked it, but I thought as an overall, it wasn't mind-blowing. But don't get me wrong, they do serve up some great food. Alright, so it feels like we ate our way through this Sydney trip. So I'll visit again and do a full Sydney travel guide. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you can do us a huge favor, click that thumbs up, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See you.